From the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, welcome to the PLL on ESPN, presented by Champion. The Red Legion rolls out the red carpet as it's homecoming week for Carolina. The Chaos, led by the Carolina Reaper. They'll play twice over the next 2 days. They'll take on the California Redwoods, who make their season debut. Anish, Shroff, Ryan Boyle, Dana Boyle is down to the sideline, and you got an interesting dynamic. Chaos, homecoming, 2 games. Redwoods didn't play last week in Albany, so they make their debut.
And if we saw last weekend, Atlas go 2-0 in their homecoming weekend. So I think early on, it's a significant advantage to have those early games. You're able to build momentum, get reps, whereas Redwoods, they go through this grueling training camp, and then we don't see them at all. They're like, hey, remember us? We're still in this league. So first look at them tonight. Let's see what they've got.
And to take the opening face-off, T.D. Erlin for the Redwoods. Nick Rowlett coming off a very solid rookie season for the Chaos. Carolina in the red and California in the white. Rowlett, Erlin do battle. Remember, 32-second shot clock off a face-off win, and this makes it challenging for the Redwoods. They play it backwards. Garland nearly slipped near the end line as Kelly gets it up ahead. Already, you're in the offensive half with less than 20 to shoot. Garnsey finding a cutter. Shot turned away. There was Montgomery. And that's going to be Berg closest to the ball. And that was a shot, which will reset the shot clock to 32.
Beautiful cut there by Montgomery as things slow down to create that advantage.
Drive, sit, back right, back left here, side left.
Charlie Bertrand pops it in the air. Troy Ray all over him. Bertrand, the former Virginia Cavalier, save made by Kaut, who springs out of the cage. Almost turned it over, nobody in net. Garnsey and Newman do battle. Off the scrap, Pinnell vacuums. Trying to play keep away from Geddes and Newman. RP3 gets it back. Skip to the far side. Montgomery, that's a 2. And a save made by Kaut, but in the crease.
I think they might have Rowlett as banged up. This play was whistled dead.
Rowlett is hunched over. One of the top defenders in the PLL. Played his college ball at North Carolina. Dana's down there on the sideline. She'll have a full report.
With all the bang-bang action, it was hard to see exactly when and where Rowlett got injured as we restart play here.
First offensive possession for the Carolina Chaos, who beat the Outlaws 16-11 last week. They only took 26 shots in that game, but connected 14 times. Best shooting percentage of any of the teams that played last week, and the lowest amount of shots taken. And that's why they got Jules Henningberg. I'm sorry, that was Kyle Jackson snaking through. Now, they wanted to be less Canadian, but they still have Canadians.
And I like this action. Despite all the new bodies and new faces, this 2-man game between Jackson and Burns, like, keep that action. We didn't see a lot of it. You can see Jackson go underneath, and that little kind of pump fake back to Burn freezes the defense. You can see it there with the goal cam. So Jackson had the one-on-one matchup he likes. Byrne mirrors that, so it's a 2-man game, but it's basically just a one-on-one with Byrne just creating space. And Jackson, for the second game in a row,
and now Ahead to Nick Rowlett. Nick Rowlett fires on the run. The save made by Jack Kelly. And we get another whistle. The other way, Garnsey the quick feed, and the doorstep dunk by Wesley Berg. What a feed by Garnsey, and Berg finishes.
And there's some confusion and chirping going on the field afterwards. Some confusion of why that whistle was blown. Garnsey's like, blow the whistle. Why did you blow it? Then it gets restarted, and the Chaos are like, why did you restart it so quickly? But heads up play by Garnsey. That big windup catches the attention of everybody off defensively for Chaos, and the beautiful skip pass to Berg, who's pretty much automatic from that spot.
Erlin wins this one to himself. Over to Garnsey, there's the quick feed. Ryan Kennedy shot saved by Kaut. Rowlett back in there, so he's okay. And he beats Berg to the end line. Chaos ball.
And you really like the urgency that Garnsey's showing on those short clocks. In terms of risk-reward proposition, Montgomery and then Kennedy hit the feeder, see what you can create out of that short clock.
Shane Knobloch, 4th overall pick, 27 in red. Out of Rutgers, dynamic midfielder. Kurtz setting the pick here for Jules Henningberg. Henningberg, crafty, two-handed. Garnsey snakes, and denied by Kelly.
No news is good news for Rowlett on the defensive end. He was just evaluated by the athletic training staff. Just a contact hit, was evaluated for a concussion protocol back in the game. Nothing to worry about on his end. Full go.
Dana flag down against the Chaos.
Now you're out, now you're out, now you're out, Dennis. Now you're out. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
34 and white, Garrett Degnan, the rookie out of Johns Hopkins, shoots wide. Multiple flags on the field. And we'll have our first power play.
Chaos penalty number 27. 30-second technical, offsides.
The Redwoods on a Rebel Bourbon power play. We know Andy Towers is a big fan. He's in the commercials. But not a fan of being man down.
No, a perfect match in terms of the coaches across the league in terms of be the spokesman there.
Top right, top center. We're good.
Wes Berg's stick just exploded. I'd say careless turnover, but you can't really blame Berg for his stick breaking.
Chaos waiting to get back to even strength. And now we're back to 6-on-6. Sergio Perkovic enters, 30 in red. Here's Minikis, so shifty, can change directions. Really shined as a rookie last year coming out of Georgetown. Shot clock violation. Now the Redwoods will push the other way. Jared Connors picked up right before the draft. Two-man game. Connors setting the pick. Garnsey feeding Pennell inside, and he scores. Two superb assists early on by Ryder Garnsey.
Redwoods attack generating both of their goals early. It was Garnsey to Berg. This time Garnsey's gonna get the matchup he wants. All eyes are on Garnsey. Pennell recognizes it, cuts to the open space, and the ageless wonder buries it.
Not having played last week.
You just kind of miss that live game action, you know, the opportunity for you to get reps against other teams and start to figure out how your midfield specifically kind of meshes, and then defensively you've got some new faces. And so that communication, that organization, how does that all start to work? Yes, you can practice it. There's nothing that replaces a live game.
Pinnell shadowed by Jack Rowlett on the crease. Pinnell, there's that patent question mark, just missed the cage. Nakai Montgomery will go dig it out. Montgomery, a PLL All-Star last year, former third-round pick. Here's Cole Kirst. He had a strong rookie season. That one skirts wide, shot clock expiring. Carolina ball. Austin Kaut, lefty goalie, played at Penn State. 32 years old with more than 1,000 career saves. And Ty Kurtz takes it across the equator.
He's the piece of the puzzle offensively that hasn't really found his footing just yet. I mean, I know we're only 1 week in.
Here's Knobloch. Goal line extended, Henningberg, his pass knocked down by Garland. Garland and the rookie Ross Scott in a battle for it. And the Redwoods come away with it. Kelly will set up the clear. Ryan Kennedy quickly up ahead.
There's a nice pickup by Fake in the corner there.
Here's Garnsey. Guy fits in on a lacrosse field and at Hogwarts too. Measuring Newman. He never seems rushed.
Good job just probing there while you're in the sub game. They had Merle and Davis Allen out there, so Garnsey just kind of, what can I get here while we substitute behind the play?
Romar coming. That's Romar Dennis. Acquired last season in August in a trade with the Atlas that sent Miles Jones to New York. 13 to shoot. Pinnell against Rowlett. Up top, outside hammer, Garrett Degnan, the rookie out of Johns Hopkins.
And this is beautiful spacing here. You're gonna notice, look at everybody just kind of clumped up top here. Meanwhile, you've got Pinnell all by his lonesome back behind the cage. So watch this action specifically on the left side of your screen. Garnsey and Degnan involved in a little two-man game. Pinnell's gonna scan. Degnan hands free. That's exactly why they drafted him. His ability to be the stretch shooter of this bunch. You marry that with Pinnell behind the cage. Expect to see a lot more of that as the season progresses.
Degnan, a lefty, that was a one. Foot was just on the line, almost a two-pointer. He finished his Johns Hopkins career second all-time in Blue Jay history in goals, only behind the great Terry Reardon.
But did you see how everybody was so high up around the two-point arc? So that allows for guys to float around the arc. And then also guys like Berg to cut on either the near side or backside pipe.
Kurtz to Henningberg, dunk denied. Isaiah Davis Allen plays keep away from Henningberg. Dumps it back to Holden Garland, who did not play last year. They're trying to get it across quickly. Connors, a threat with the pole.
Side left. Numbers, Vicky up top. Balls up,
RP3 at X.
X. Side left. Top left, open.
Garnsey over to Montgomery.
We got it.
Gets a step on McKay. Bounce shot on the run. And back up to Rob Pinnell.
I'd like to see Montgomery put that in the net, in the air. You got all that space, you did all the hard work getting to the middle of the cage. Put it on net. Challenge the goalie. Don't rely on the bounce shot there.
Why?
Shoot for net. It's just, in that matter, like, you don't need the ground from a deception standpoint. You're in range, let it fly, challenge Kaut.
Garnsey gets devoured.
You've got the full 6x6, just fire it.
Shot clock violation. Now off the restart, here comes Geddes. Redwoods get back in transition. Chaos have missed their last 5 shots after connecting on their first. Oh, silky smooth move by who else? Josh Byrne.
I mean, Redwoods have an extra defender here. This is 3-on-4, 4-on-5 type of numbers here. So Chaos are at a disadvantage. With Byrne, it doesn't really matter. I need to take on multiple guys. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Toe drags a short stick, has a long pole waiting for him, still buries it.
As all the offseason chatter, hey, they're less Canadian, you know, no Ryan Smith, no Dane Smith in the first 2 goals. Canadians, Jackson, and now Byrne. And similar goals. Troy Ray off the ground. Nice wing play from the former Albany Great Dane.
And back to your point about Chaos offensively, I think that's the ideal outcome, is if they can really unlock both of those components of their offense. Then from a prep standpoint, I've got to prep for these two-handed American Dodgers, but I also have to prepare for that 2-man, 3-man lefty action with Jackson, Byrne, and McKay.
Shot clock expires. Byrne took a shot. Redwoods the other way quickly. Tevlin inside to Berg. The goal is good. Second goal of this opening quarter for Westberg.
And this is all set up by Tevlin. It was a heady double team by number 23 Merle, but then once there was a shot clock violation, Tevlin picks it up and just goes. Shot out of a cannon. You can see Bowen slide upfield a little bit, and this is just an easy pass forward for Tevlin. But that's the two-way dynamic that Tevlin brings to this. You saw earlier when Davis Allen or Merle were on transitions, like, let's get you off. Tevlin can push and is a legitimate threat.
When he played at Yale and Notre Dame, a man of all seasons. We saw him play with a pull-on man down, played short stick D-midi, ran as an offensive midfielder, played the bagpipes, was a captain, donated bone marrow.
So you know who Chris Collins compares him to? I'm bringing this up as a former Orange. Jared Park.
Top side, Mickey!
Who was also a soccer player at Syracuse and one of the best guys off the wings of a face-off. You played in your time.
Yeah, that's a niche throwback.
Yeah.
Homer on both sides reference.
McKay's shot saved by Kelly. A Manganell pass to Garnsey. Steps into one. Kaut got a piece on it. Picks it out of the crease. We go the other way. Here comes Resch.
But yeah, as soon as Collins compared him to Jared Park, this was back in the championship series in February, I was like, that's a pretty good comp.
Yeah. People forget how good Jared Park was. He was an offensive midfielder, defensive midfielder, excelled on face-off wings. Bounce shot. Kelly again goes to his knees. Nice save. 5 in the opening quarter. Yeah, and Park also played on the Syracuse soccer team.
Hey, open here.
Redwood's not showing any rust at all. This is a strong first quarter.
Well, Zach, digging curtsy. Digging curtsy.
You knew they'd be fine, right, with the attack, and that's the group that's showed up defensively, I think, is the bigger surprise.
Pennell maneuvers around Rowlett, but Rowlett gets the takeaway. Can the Chaos push? Nope, they turn it over. 6.5 seconds to go.
Check down.
Opening quarter, 4-2, Redwoods on top. Westberg with a pair of goals. Fake sends it to Garland. Sends it downfield. And the clock expired before Dennis got that off.
Strong start for California. After sitting out all of week 1, your knowns showed up. Garnsey, a couple assists. Berg, a couple goals. Pinnell 1-1. And how about the newcomer, Degnan? You wanted some stretch shooting? You got it.
Welcome to the PLL on ESPN, presented by Champion. Week 2, we're in Charlotte, North Carolina, American Legion Field, and Dana Boyle with a very special guest.
I'm with Pac-Man Jones. You're waving to your fans out there. We saw you last year in Columbus, and you were taking some shots on an empty net. So how's the practice been going with the right and left hand?
Well, the practice haven't been going that good, but I have been watching a lot. I had a chance to watch Notre Dame win the championship, and I'm kind of getting the flick of the wrist. But practice. We worry about practice. We don't worry about practice. But yeah, enjoying the game, man. Enjoying the game. Hard and physical.
What's the crossover between football and lacrosse?
First of all, they run way more than we run, I think. And the physicality of getting hit without any pass on is way different than getting hit with pass on. These guys got 6-foot sticks that they're slapping each other with, which I have a lot of respect for, and just the agility and the movement. All these guys are big-time athletes. You can tell they play some kind of sports besides this, or they only play this, but I got a lot of respect for lacrosse.
If we had to throw you out there on the lacrosse field, what position would you play?
I do what Trevor do. Get the ball off the rip. I'll probably be really good at, what do you call that?
The face-off.
I'll be the face-off guy, yeah. I'll get it every time. That's what I would do.
So 1v1 versus Trevor Baptiste, you think you got his number?
I don't know. It didn't go too good for me last time. That's my brother, but he is really good. I think I can win, though. Out of 10, I got 4 at least.
Okay, all right. We're going to have to put you on the X with him just to test your knowledge there. Before I let you go, how do I get one of those necklaces you got? That's a lot of bling.
This comes with hard work. I call these trophies. I work a lot of hard work. These ain't just to be showing off. Like, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that came in this. And sometimes you have to reward yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? I see your ice. I just went a little bit more flamboyant than you did.
Trying to show me out. All right, so in the matchup tonight, the Chaos versus the Redwoods, what do you make of the first quarter?
I'm going with the home team. First game in Charlotte. There's no question who I'm going with. We're down right now, but I think we'll get back and come back and win the game.
Out here, who would you want to go 1v1 against?
McKay, 55.
Interesting, why?
Yeah, he look a little slow. I think I got to run.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
All right.
Thanks for the time.
No problem.
Oh, that was great. That was great. He was coming after Dana's bling.
Treat yourself. You might want to tell Pac-Man that McKay is the Swiss Army Machete, Dana. That's his nickname.
I can't wait to tell McKay.
Oh, here's McKay.
Let's go 1v1 with Trevor. He's calling out names.
Chaos turn it over. By the way, did you see the hat game? Strong hat game, the corduroy Atlas hat for Pac-Man.
Yes.
Dana's got a hat that we didn't get that hat, but Dana's got one.
That's what happens when you work hard on the sidelines down here. You guys are in the air condition up there?
No, we
You're
opened the
pouring
windows.
your
We opened the
water.
windows.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sorry.
I was climbing
My bad.
on tables during one of the commercial breaks so we could get the windows open.
It's a good thing Dana was talking to Pac-Man Jones because Chaos offensively this quarter has been very, very sloppy.
Cursed his shot blocked. 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for the Chaos. They'll play twice, today and tomorrow. They'll play the Atlas tomorrow, homecoming weekend. That's the new wrinkle this season where every team has a geographical locale attached. Bounce shot and a score. That's Charlie Bertrand.
The tall lefty really had a breakout year 2 years ago. Solid season, was kind of banged up last year. But he runs 6'3", 220, and when that starts getting north-south, he just becomes a load. And you match his physicality with his skills, you got to support here. So once he turns the corner, there's just nobody from Carolina that slides. And you've got to have a slide package prepared for Bertrand on a short stick.
Charlie Bertrand in college won 3 national titles, 2 Division II titles at Merrimack, and then with Virginia in 2021. Isaiah Davis-Allen fires on the run, a save for count, his 8th.
Come on, Kate!
And it feels like Carolina, they just need some sort of juice play. Something in transition, a big hit, a big loose ball, something to get this crowd into it.
Well, very little has come off ball movement, both goals, in fact. Solo wing dodges from a couple of Canadians. That was a good look there by Knobloch, just didn't get it inside the pipes. Now here's Chris Fake. Steps into one, that's a 2, turned away. Jack Rowlett scoops it near the crease.
I think Berg ate that in the back.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah.
Resch marked by Tevlin. Shane Knobloch, 4th overall pick, the rookie out of Rutgers. First midfielder taken in the draft. Brennan O'Neill, Connor Schellenberger, and Ajax Zapatello went off the board. 1, 2, 3. Ross Scott, another Rutgers Scarlet Knights, 2 goals last week in his PLL debut. Nice feed on the inside, and the dunk right there on the doorstep. Ross Scott creating.
So he scores twice last week. You're going to invert him, so you've got to respect his ability to win his one-on-one matchup. Freeze it right here. You're going to see Arden Cohen. He starts to hedge a little bit. You can kind of see him staring at the ball. He wants to go, so you're going to get this little backdoor cut along the backside pipe. That's exactly what Henningberg sees. Beautiful identification by Scott and a spot feed. When you've got Ross Scott running out the midfield, his ability to invert, it's almost like 2 quarterbacks between him and Henningberg. Pick your poison. Okay, you're going to short stick Ross Scott. I'm going to trot behind the cage, and I'm going to go one-on-one. You slide, boom, I'm going to feed it.
Not only was that a cool connection on the field for the score by Jules, but they've got a cool relationship. Ross Scott looks up to Jules at his time at Rutgers, someone that he has tried to model his game after, and now they're sharing the same field, both Rutgers alum. Pretty special.
Yeah, dare I call it Scarlet Fever. Montgomery hounded. CJ Costabile.
Unikai! Get out, Unikai! Get out, Unikai! Right foot! Right foot!
Byrne eyes Fake. Chris Fake only played in 1 game as a rookie last year. Here comes Scott, and he'll work on the short stick Merle.
Same action we just saw. Henningberg will mirror this.
That time, nobody on the crease. The Redwoods clogged it up inside. Perkovic spins it back. Knobloch from the high wing, 15 to shoot. Knobloch sneaks it past Kelly. Yowza.
Kelly never saw it. Kelly never saw it. It was a beautiful left to right split by Knobloch, but Merle gets right in the way. And Knobloch ends up using him as a screen. As he goes to shoot, Kelly completely loses this. Here's the left to right, and Merle is kind of in the way. Watch Kelly's reaction, just palms up, saying, I never saw that. Carolina creeping back.
Again, if it's the next logical step in his journey as a coach, he's a guy, again,
he's so ingrained. That's why I'm at.
He is. He's a creative offensive mind, and when you talk to the players on the team, you know, they speak a lot about the work that Ryder does with them. To me, he's a guy, again, you're a team that's looking to kickstart your offense, inject some creativity. He's a guy that's worth a phone call.
Absolutely. But you think of Notre Dame just historically like stale, right? And then now it's like, whoa.
They weren't stale the last 2 years. Chaos looking for the equalizer. 2 goals in the span of a little more than a minute. The rollback by Knobloch. Dana, you got the sun setting behind the scoreboard. So Jack Kelly, is he looking into the sun? Is it a bad sun field for the goalie on that side?
Kelly and Cott, who I talked to before the break, both looking into the sun, but both told me not a factor in being able to see the ball.
About a month ago or so when they had the ACC tournament on this field, Virginia was practicing right as the sun was coming down, and I remember Virginia's goalie Matt Nunes was saying how the goal that Kelly's defending at that point, and again the sun moves, this was a month ago, shots that were overhand down the right alley, complete guess, he couldn't see it.
Side right! Side right! Still side right! Side right! Side right!
Montgomery accelerates over to Pinnell. Eyes up, looking for a cutting Bertrand. It skips back to Romar Dennis. Dennis, the 2. Resch got in the way. It'll stay with the Redwoods, but only 1 second on the shot clock, and Redwoods getting their defensive personnel on.
A good late clock recognition by Resch there. Understanding maybe that's normally not a time I would slide early in the clock. Late, however, let's apply some pressure, try to dissuade that shot, get it off target.
Kurt spun back around. Feed in front to a cutting Minikis. That's over and back. 5th turnover of the quarter for the Chaos. Let's go under the helmet, powered by Cash App. Keep it clean, Jack Rowlett.
Go. Mickey, sweep that. Mickey, go to that. Bone, stay inside. Bone, you're high now. Make it harder for him to get it, Mick.
No flag. Garnsey lost his helmet. Now Garnsey wants a flag. Well, now we get a penalty marker.
55, 1 minute, unnecessary roughness. You're not doing.
Hey, Jack, while they're setting the power play, it seems like you guys weren't too pleased with that call. What'd you see game level?
I was in front of the play. I think Mickey was behind him. I'm not sure what the hit was. Maybe it was that new defenseless call. I'm not positive. Yeah, we're in it now. Resch, inside. Just stay inside. No, go inside. Go inside on Bergie. Go to Bergie. I'm here on the left. Resch, next time. You're out. You're out next time. Hey, Jerry, that's a shooter right there. That's a DC guy, too.
Redwoods on a Rebel Bourbon power play.
I didn't see it. The play was behind me.
And Garnsey has to leave the field because his helmet comes off.
Yeah.
But it was because of a penalty, so he's allowed to come in. So Garnsey comes back in, Dennis exits, and the Redwoods set up this power play brought to you by Rebel Bourbon.
Resch, next time you're out. Go Resch, go Resch, go Resch, go Resch. In it, Resch. Resch me.
Now that was the right idea. Kirst was open, the pass missed him.
Jerry, go out. No, Jerry, stay low. I'm out. Breathe. Yeah, breathe.
Those power plays, it's another area where Garrett Degnon's got a chance to be a big factor for the Redwoods.
And back to that communication, Rowlett was basically talking through Resch, who's going to rotate versus who's going to have that crease responsibility. So you can hear him saying, I got it. He was the rotation up to that shooter as opposed to Resch.
Andy Towers calls a timeout, 2:51 to go, first half. Chaos, the home team, trail the Redwoods 5-4. We'll try to listen into Andy Towers.
11 seconds on offense.
All right, so we'll go Minnow and KJ.
Okay.
Minnow and KJ, and Jules, Kurtzy, and Bernie, right?
Knobloch come out of the box.
Yeah, Knobloch coming out of the box. So Minnow, I don't think they're going to double you, okay? We got 20 seconds to kill. If they overextend, fucking blow by them and watch the trail check. Let's try to get the ball up to get it to Knobber coming out of the box.
Hey, Shorty, pick up the ball, right?
What?
Whatever. Probably not gonna. You pick the ball up, right? I want one Shorty, top middle, okay? So you just get the ball to Knobber with a pull on him.
Yep.
Right? Go out to him with a short stick, right? So if you get a switch, same thing as last time that happened, they had to switch.
So have KJ set the pick. So Minnow picks it up, ball goes around, we get it to Knobber, KJ sets the pick and then slips it, right?
You're gonna start coming to you quick. Let's let it eat or make the right play. Let's go.
Hey, we got 32 seconds. Make sure you guys are loud down the stretch of these shot clocks to make sure we're getting a shot. We go, Austin.
Yeah, with 32 left on the shot clock and 21 in the power play, there's not going to be a lot of juice left when they get to 6-on-6. But they've got a plan in place in terms of whether they double the ball coming out of this or if they just sit back. So they double team the ball, they're just going to trust Minicus to try to beat that double team. Otherwise, try to get something late with Knobloch coming out of the box.
When the Chaos drafted Knobloch, my money was on Nobby, but Towers went Knobber.
And Ross Scott is the full name.
Ross Scott.
The two first names, you guys said both names each time.
They play for Andy Towers.
So it looks like Redwoods are going to be content to have basically that extra defender who's Jared Connors just kind of floating. You can see him just kind of raising his hand there, number 28 in white.
Right foot.
Got about 10, 11 seconds with the differential between the end of the power play and the shot clock, and they're not pressing out. They're going to be content to let the Chaos work with little time on the shot clock. That's the case now. Burn connects, and we're tied.
I saw that shit coming the whole fucking time. Nice fucking look. Nice fucking time.
I'll be honest, I thought Kurtz was going to fire that from 2-point range. You know, Knobloch gained a little bit of an advantage off this two-man game. The defense is rotating. I figured Kurtz from deep, late in the clock, he elects to go one more to Burn. Beautiful catch and release using his defender Garland as a screen. That's super hard for Kelly to track in terms of going from Knobloch, who's a legit threat, to Kirst, to Burn.
It's number 22 scoring with 2:22 left, and that is Ty, number 2 in the ball game, in case you like deuces.
Side right. Balls X. Back left.
Garnsey, Berg, and Pinnell, they've played a lot of ball together. Pinnell probing against Jack Rowlett. Bertrand's got a goal today. Trying to get to the left hand. Bertrand shoots, not much on it. Count eats it up. 9 saves for Austin Count, filling in for the injured Blaze Reardon. Reardon dislocated his kneecap last week. That shot saved by Kelly.
And that's the spot we were talking about.
Montgomery all the way, looking to feed Berg. Was that one where he's got to shoot?
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like Montgomery was almost kind of confused, caught in no man's land. A little surprised there wasn't a rotation. I think the early shot from Geddes kind of caught everybody on that half field by surprise. But Montgomery's got to go looking for his own there.
Last 2 goals have come from the right wing. Burns against Fake. Now the dynamic Knobloch. He's turned back by Merle. McKay bodies IDA. Another turnover by the Chaos. Too many empty possessions. That's 10 turnovers for Carolina.
And I'd like to see Knobloch get more selfish. It feels like he's giving up the ball just a little too quickly post his dodge, that initial dodge. He's had some matchups I've liked. Like he's got to just own that, hold on to the ball a little bit longer. Does that make sense, Anish? Like I feel like he just needs to be a little bit more selfish and pack his will on this game. It feels like he can gain an advantage seemingly whenever he wants.
Timeout, California. Is that part of just being a rookie?
It can be.
Maybe deferring earlier, where maybe if you're a veteran on that team, you've got to tell them, hey, good things happen when the ball's in your stick. We need you to be less passive.
Yes, and that's something that Coach Towers and Panetta will address with him at halftime and as the season progresses. Of like, hey, we got you in the first round, the 4th pick overall. You were our guy. Take over.
We saw Minikis do that at times for this team a year ago.
But Knobloch versus Minikis, Knobloch just brings, from a shooting perspective,
Yes.
he's just way more range, way more dynamic, way more of a threat, and that's why he's getting those slides. But I just feel like sometimes he's just giving it up instead of just being able to hold that a little bit longer, carry that double team a little bit longer, or if he's got a short stick, like I want to own that matchup.
Shane Knobloch, rookie out of Rutgers. We got Knobloch, Scott, and Jules Henningberg, who all played their college ball at Rutgers. 5-5 game. Chaos with a 3-1 advantage in his second quarter, despite a lot of sloppiness offensively.
Yeah, especially this second quarter for Redwoods. You know, Bertram had one early to go up 5-2 before Carolina's gone on their run. Cout's been solid in net for Chaos, but just not enough quality looks.
Final 40 seconds, half number 1. 5-second differential, game clock and shot clock. And Bertrand will milk it. Bertrand has a goal, Berg has 2. Degnan and Rob Pinnell have also scored. Kirst, turbos, turbines. His pass for Berg, knocked down. A sea of red. And the Chaos emerge. Final ticks. Jack Rowlett has it stick checked away. Picked up by Fake, sends it down. Ball was tipped, and the first half comes to an end. We are tied at 5. First of 2 games this weekend for the Chaos. First game of the season for the Redwoods, who had a bye last week. Legion of fans, they've got the Red Legion here in Charlotte. A lot of them used to be fans of the Charlotte Hounds of the old MLL. Now they're embracing the Chaos, quite literally.
No, it's awesome to see, and the PLL, what they've done with these stadiums last week with Atlas, with the flags that were customized to that stadium, and now with the Chaos banners and signage.
Nick Rowlett, quick shot off the face-off win. Henningberg, a free agent signee. Facing his old team. Ross Scott, little shake, penthouse palm by the rookie.
I love this action, and you can see they have a clear plan in place for when Ross Scott comes out of the box on a short stick. We're gonna run him behind the cage, we're gonna invert him against that midfielder. You see a little action with Kurtz. He's parked right on the crease, he's gonna mirror that. And then they do a pretty good job of creating space for Ross Scott to cook. An assist in the first half. Here you don't slide, you don't respect it, and he buries it. He had 2 last week and another one today. But I love they have a clear plan in place for Ross Scott coming on the field.
Is there something to be said when you're a rookie in this league and you're getting a short stick after, you're the guy in college, you're getting the top pole. Sometimes you're getting the top pole, you're getting a slide as well. You're getting early slides, you get all that attention. Now all of a sudden, your eyes probably get wide when you see, hey, I've got a short stick matchup and they're not sliding to me.
And build on that. Also, a clearly defined role. You know, with this game, which is a player's game, so much less structured than the college, I have a defined role and I have a clear plan that I know how to go out and execute when I'm out there, instead of just being left to my own devices and maybe getting kind of overwhelmed by the game.
And that takes into account how good these PLL shorties are as well. Here's Dennis. He's been quiet today. Shot clock expires.
Coming out of the break, I talked to Nat St. Laurent for the Redwoods, and he said they played a little bit faster than they wanted to in that first half, specifically on the offensive end. The looks are there, they're just not executing. They want to find that flow offense and slow it down, but not get complacent on the offensive end. That'll be the key here in the third quarter.
Thank you, Dana Boyle, down on the field.
Yeah, I mean, Dana, 3 of their 5 goals came in transition. Haven't really seen the same level of execution for them in the 6-on-6.
Here's Scott again.
Right.
At the short stick. Kurtz shoots, turned away. That's a save. Minikis able to pick up the loose ball. He's going to play more midfield this year. Now block.
You got to get more out of that. You got to get more out of that short stick on Josh Byrne.
Shot clock into single digits. There's Scott, inside roll. Kelly denies. Flag down. Boy, every time the rookies Scott and Knobloch touch the ball, good things are happening for the Chaos.
Number 28, 1 minute, unnecessary roughing.
Ross Scott explodes to the cage, and after he does an inside roll quickly and then gets that shot off, there's the hit by Connors up top. That's what draws the flag.
This Chaos power play is brought to you by Rebel Bourbon. Let's see if they go back to Scott and or Knobloch. First power play of the game for Carolina. Knobloch camped out up top behind the arc. Gets it from Perkovic. Perkovic, a former California Redwood before they were California, just the Redwoods. Perkovic will pick this up near midfield. 0 for 16 shooting last year. Had a big game on game 1, and how do you like that? Kyle Jackson, the crafty Canadian, his second.
Highlight reel goal by Kyle Jackson, coming off a beautiful skid pass from Byrne. You can see the delight of Andy Towers. They went 1 for 1 last week. You can see Jackson just buries himself behind fake. So Byrne throws that pump fake up to Minikis. That freezes fake. And Jackson, the creativity between the legs. You gotta love that sign.
5 unanswered by the Chaos. They were down 5-2. TD Erlin wins the faceoff. Sprints inside the arc. Merle dropped it. Connors, a human Roomba, able to corral it, but he can't hold on. And it comes back to the Chaos. Rowlett ambushed by 3 defenders. Picked up off the ground, but we're going to have a loose ball hold. It's going to be against Carolina. Redwoods ball, quick restart.
And back to that face-off win by Redwoods, I'd like to see Tevlin or Montgomery on the wing so you could be more aggressive post-win. And if you lose it, both of them are more than capable on the defensive side.
Chaos changed the matchup on Pinnell. Will Bowen on him. Rowlett was guarding Ryder Garnsey. Bertrand against the short stick. They steer him right. He's a lefty.
Hands! Top right, who's going here? Who's on here? Gotta go.
15 scoreless minutes for the Redwoods. Cursed on the run. Count. This is what happens when you have a very able understudy. You lose Blaze Reardon, 4-time goalie of the year. They don't have to rush him back if Austin Count's playing like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got the trust and faith of the locker room. Incredible culture guy as well. Just beloved by teammates.
You may have heard Jack Rowlett speak his praises last week.
You got to get more out of that.
Kurtz, good look.
That's
missed the
better.
cage.
Yeah. It's just the entire defense is staring at Byrne when he gets that. So he turns into an aggressive goal scorer into a feeder. There's just too much off-ball standing around. There you see Kurtz, a nice little sneaky cut to get himself free.
Now Minikis dodging from up top. Spins it to Henningberg. Working on Cohen. Henningberg near the crease. Gets free. Snake and Sting. 6 in a row for Carolina.
A ton of familiarity between these two. Henningberg, the former Redwood, joins Chaos this past offseason. And a big part of that was his ability to go back to attack, the position he thrived at, Rutgers. You can see his two-handedness, little swim dodge at X. Gets back to his strong right hand. That little dip at goal line extended, you can see Kelly react to that. Beautiful body English, body language by Henningberg to manipulate Kelly before burying that. But he brings a stability to Carolina within their attack in that position specifically.
And unpredictability too.
Well, he's a bit of a chameleon, right? You saw him play midfield the last few years at Redwood, so he can dodge from the wing, from up top. But traditionally speaking, back at Rutgers, I mean, and when he joined Redwoods originally back in 19,
yeah,
he was given the keys to the car.
Last year, he had statistically the worst shooting season of his pro career. Dennis has been a knockback today. He's the guy that can give you a juice goal if he gets his hands free from 2. Rowlett now back on Pinnell. The physicality of Jack Rowlett knocked that one loose, and it's a shot clock violation. Now he's got the mean streak. He'll chirp.
Hey, Jack, as you guys finish this clear and substitution pattern, just talk me through your mental approach in terms of covering Pinnell behind the cage. As he goes to dodge, how's he looking to feed? Talk me through what you're thinking mentally there.
I'm the better defender when guys go right-handed, so I almost want to beat Rob when he goes left, because if he goes back to his right, I just feel better as like my own personal game. So that's kind of all I'm thinking about.
Well, keep it up. You're doing a great job. Good luck the rest of the half.
Thank you.
He told me yesterday he got a bit of a talking to for his adjective use last week. So he's very aware of that with the mic on this week. Henningberg gets free. He's turning the corner and he's parking the car. 7 unanswered now for the Chaos.
In the scouting report, Anish, whenever you're going against a team that had a former player, you knew there was the revenge factor. It would be in the scouting report. Look out for this guy. You don't think Henningberg's got revenge on his mind? Going against his former teammates? Proving his decision? First it was against Cohen. Here he's posted up Devlin. Chaos are rolling. Well, if he went there, they're working. He's definitely going to go there tomorrow then before they have the doubleheader.
Ian McKay facing off against T.D. Erlin. This is something that's going to be interesting with how teams manage the face-off. We're going to see the Archers later tonight. And talking to them at practice yesterday, they felt winning face-offs at such a high clip last week in Albany was a detriment. And they got tired because of it, and it allowed the Water Dogs to come back and almost win the game.
I mean, flip side is like, if the Water Dogs dressed a face-off guy, don't you feel like they win that game?
That is a fair argument. Pinnell, the question mark, right as the buzzer sounds. He has perfected that shot over the years, and that ends a 7-0 chaos run. They can look at this.
But this is the luxury of having a guy like Rob Pennell. The other team's on a 7-goal run, and at some point, you need a guy just to be like, it ends now. It ends now. I'm going to create my own shot. I'm going to stop the bleeding. You can see the shot clock on the left side of your screen. It looked like he got this off in time, but we're so accustomed to seeing him drive up that other side. So you want to play the scout? No. He's two-handed. He can do the question mark on either side. If you overreact to that, he's so fundamentally sound. He then counters with the rocker. There's nothing this guy hasn't seen over the course of his career that he doesn't have an answer for.
Erlin wins the face-off from Rowlatt. Pinballs off a defender, fires and scores. 2 in an eye blink for the Redwoods.
And this is where having a face-off specialist, a face-off athlete that can play offense, win the draw, and then push in transition, the TD brings this dynamic to that position. If you're gonna overplay me, if you're not gonna respect me, kind of dodges himself into some trouble, somehow evades it, and then finds a little bit of daylight. Here you can see, oh, this isn't gonna end well, but they overplay, he maintains possession, makes him pay.
Erlin gets a breather. Brian Tevlin will take this face-off. 2 goals in 8 seconds for California. Rowlatt wins this, has to win it back. Now trying to escape a triple team. Lost his stick. The stick gets flipped into the air.
A yard sail into a helicopter.
Nice little farmer's market in the area tomorrow.
Side right!
Don't think I didn't notice.
Edge!
There's another food festival too. You didn't tell me
There
about
is
that.
a food
You didn't tell me
festival,
about
yeah.
that, yeah.
Ryder Garnsey, a couple of assists today. Maneuvering against Newman. Nakai over to Pennell. Pennell gets to the middle, draws the double team. Degnan, threat from the outside. Degnan had Geddes all over him, and it did not matter.
I said this at halftime. I just liked the juice that he brought every time he was out there in the first half. You know, the question mark for him going from college to the pros was, can you win a matchup? Because you're gonna be matched up on a short stick. Can you create your own shot? His ability to get this off with pressure, that little step back, and we're seeing so many step back threes in the NBA Finals, that little pump fake, body, step back, and flamethrower.
Romar Dennis approves. 3 goals in 1 minute and 4 seconds. And the Redwoods right back in this game. It's 9-8. California had a 5-2 lead before a 7-0 chaos run. They'll play a little make it, take it lacrosse. Erlin looking for Degnan on a skip. Boy, if he catches that, that's a sweet spot.
They kept him out of attack. I like Pennell's thought process there.
Knocked out of bounds, last touch chaos, so the Redwoods keep it. 3.5 to go, third quarter.
And what I mean by that is feed the hot hand, and without a clear advantage gained, Degnan did a good job just flashing to open space. Pennell tried to find him.
Now they set a pick for him, and he got the short stick matchup. That's on with Resch. Montgomery against Costabile. Feed inside, Berg ties the game. RP3 to West Berg. The hat trick for Berg, even at 9.
Just beautiful fundamental lacrosse here. You're gonna get a dodge down the alley. You're gonna get a little help by Bowen. Watch Berg, he's right here in the middle. So he's just gonna flash to this open space on this backside pipe. So you get the dodge down the alley, the little help by Bowen. You move it forward, you cut the backside pipe, you get it to Pennell, and you let him distribute. Fundamentally sound, easy lacrosse for Redwoods offensively.
And they've landed some haymakers. 4-0 run for California. All 4 goals in the span of less than 2 minutes. And they continue to play make it, take it. Now, to your point, Ryan, you want to devalue the face-off position? Okay, well, the face-offs have led to this comeback.
Top right! Top right!
I get the short clock, but there's just something emotionally of just always being on defense. And then flip side is offensively, you start getting a little antsy.
Bertrand against Ray. Now he's got the short stick. Geddes spun back to his right. Degnan fires and connects! Oh, that's a 2! Feed the rookie.
Erlin has allowed them to get in rhythm. And when that happens, you start to kind of feel the juice, feel the momentum. You get a little bit of help by Ray, and Degnan hands-free. I mean, this is exactly why they drafted him. They had 4 two-pointers last year. That was 7th. When you think of Redwoods historically, they've relied on the 2-point arc. Degnan brings them that threat, brings that stretch shooter.
Second all-time in goals at Johns Hopkins. Rowlett wins the faceoff. Kurtz bounces one home. It's 11-10. So Carolina, you wonder, would they take a breath? But you got that 32-second clock. Kurtz had a good look, and he cashes in off the Rowlett faceoff win.
And he's the stretch shooter for Carolina. And you just don't like leaving goals on the sideline. And when you have a guy that can stretch the defense and bury from range, this is when those opportunities present themselves in transition. You know, I mentioned Kurtz really hadn't found his footing just yet. I would play him at attack, Anish. I'd play him on the right wing, Henningberg at X, obviously Byrne on the left wing, and then Ron Ross, Scott, and Minikis out of the box with Knobloch. One of those guys is beating the short stick. Who are you going to pull with those 3 guys on the same unit?
This game got exciting quickly. 7 goals in the span of less than 3 minutes. Erlin the other way missed the cage. The response off the Kurtz goal came 6 seconds after the Redwoods had scored. Catch your breath with 2 minutes to go in the third. It's 11-10. Offense is starting to wake up. Kurtz down the alley, bouncer. Count got a piece of it. Montgomery grabs the rebound, fresh 32. Montgomery against the short stick, McKay. Accelerates through the cage, bounces it wide. Bowen using his body, gets away from Berg. Spins it ahead, Costabile on a bounce. And Kurtz has to catch that.
And back to that last Redwoods position, Montgomery's got to take McKay where he wants him. He's got a clear speed advantage. And when he dodges from that low wing, he just runs out of real estate. Drag him up to the higher wing so that affords you the ability to go either way and have McKay try to keep up with your foot speed.
Romar Dennis in the game. Here comes Degnan out of the box. He's got the hot hand. Degnan against Resch. Fires on the run. Blocked by Rowlett. Pinnell says, let's settle down.
I'm going right back to that matchup. Resch lost his stick.
Resch playing without a stick.
Help him.
Resch now guarding Pinnell with no stick.
Jerry. Hands.
Newman on the switch. Pinnell's pass misses Dennis, and a missed opportunity for the Redwoods.
You can see the thought process in terms of Degnan bringing Resch without a stick to Pinnell.
Costabile dumps it back. Now Knobloch. Been a minute since we called his name. Henningberg's got a hat trick against his old team. Turns the corner on Garland, and we're tied at 11. 4 goals for Jules Henningberg.
And you really can't sit on either side, right, Anish? I mean, we've seen him blow by his defender going right-handed. Okay, maybe I'll sit on that hand. He's just that ambidextrous, that slick, that skilled, going in both directions. And we've now seen him go against, what, 3 different defenders. That little hesitation right behind the cage, and then the explosion upfield. This past offseason, Carolina wanted to get more dynamic, they wanted to get faster, they wanted to get quicker. Henningberg has delivered.
Still time left on the clock for one more. We've had 11 goals in this quarter after 10 the entire first half. Rowlett had it, able to pick it up. Rowlett with the dodge. The bouncer had little on it. Kelly scoops and flings it down. It should be an exciting finish here in Charlotte. Game 1 of 4 in the Queen City. Chaos homecoming. The Redwoods season debut. We're tied at 11 heading into the fourth quarter of play. So much of assembling these teams is finding not just the best players, but the right pieces, and pieces that fit together. Off the face-off, we get a whistle. It's going to be a push, and it's going to be against the Redwoods. Loose ball push. Chaos ball to begin this fourth quarter, tied at 11.
And to pull that thread even more, they got Degnan in the 3rd round. You think of Nat St. Laurent's success in the later rounds, the 3rd round specifically. Kirst, Montgomery, way back when he got Troutner in the 4th.
And he went on to be Rookie of the Year.
We're Bama, drive!
Chaos looking to retake the lead. Scott's a jitterbug. Now it's Knobloch. Knobloch twisting through the defense. Comes up top. Byrne spinning. Ran out of an angle, tried to shovel it. Goalie got a piece, so that resets the shot clock to 32. And Carolina can catch its breath. They've got Scott parked at X, so they'll invert Ross Scott here against Arden Cohen. And this has worked. Scott with a running start. Gets the pick. Now he's got the matchup. The short stick, Isaiah Davis-Allen. Scott dancing around the crease. Got top side. But the angle not there. Kelly able to come up with it.
Yeah, solid save there by Kelly. Quick release as Ross Scott broke the plane of goal line extended. But you can see the respect that Scott's getting now. They've got a long pole on him. They're like, enough of that action.
Tevlin sets the pick for Dennis, now runs off. Montgomery out of the box. He likes this matchup with McKay. Straight line speed. Nakai gets by him. Over to Pinnell. Bertrand. Barreling against Geddes. Shot clock running down. And that one offline. 1 to shoot. Pinnell will dump this into the corner. Redwoods get their offensive personnel, or rather their defensive personnel in.
That wasn't a casual dump. That was emphatic and maybe some frustration. There's the
He couldn't see the ball. Couldn't see the ball. Merle comes up with it. The sun is setting near the scoreboard, so it's the side. Now, the Redwoods have the ball. The offensive players for the Redwoods, Dana, am I right to say they're looking into the sun?
Yeah, it's pretty bright out here. Half the field is covered with the sun, but that middle portion right down the center, quite bright. The ball's getting lost in that sun.
So if you're an offensive player, that's where you want to shoot from, Ryan, right?
Right.
Well, no, it's going the other way. So it would be down to Kelly's end. Like, I don't know if it carries that far just because I'm not at field level.
So Kelly's going to have to fight the sun here in this fourth quarter. It's like a baseball game when you got the shadows in left field or right field. Linekus. Kurtz behind the cage, now Byrne. Loves to dodge from that right wing. Perkovic.
Hey, we're Bama here. Bama. Drive. Hinge. Stay home.
Perkovic thought about it. Now with the left hand too high with the shot clock winding down. He had the right-handed shot.
He's got to be ready to take it. He's got to be ready to take that. Henningberg teed that up perfectly. And also just awareness from a shot clock perspective. We're not getting a better look. That's where I'd like to maybe see a high bouncer, add a little layer of deception. If you miss it, okay, fine. Now you force Redwoods to clear the full length of the field. But you got to be prepared to fire that if you're Perkovic.
Degnan, that one saved by Count. Degnan's got 4 points today. 3 goals, including a 2-pointer, which at the time gave California an 11-9 lead. Byrne looking for the cutter. That one somehow bounces in. I think they're going to give that to Kurtz. It looked like he was looking for McKay on a pass. And again, you got Kelly looking right into the sun, and it goes in.
They gave him the old knuckleball, the old knuckle puck. You can see everybody getting a good laugh of that in the chaos huddle. In transition, Kurtz cuts, gets something off. The frustration from Kelly. Oh, just an awkward bouncer. Chaos pushed their lead to 1.
Ryan, when you played X-Attack, how many conversations did you have throughout the course of a game?
When that happens, I'm always like, just shut up. I'm trying to, shut up. And I mean, he's a lovable, fun personality, so it's easy now in the booth. Different attackmen take that in different ways. I mean, the better perspective is asking Pinnell. But if I was Pinnell, I'd be like, I'm trying to kill you. I'm trying to win this game. I don't want to have a casual conversation.
Dana, when you played, were you a talker?
Oh. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not when I played in the midfield because I was pretty out of breath, but when I was on attack, absolutely. Yeah, you got to try it out.
Well, it'd be the worst, like a guy like that has just slashed you, right? And crushed you. And they're like, oh, hey, buddy. It's like, no. That doesn't work like that.
Hey, that's Sergio Perkovic guy.
No,
nice guy.
No, I don't want to, you just try to, chop my arm off. I don't want to talk about the farmer's market with you.
It's a little different than when the runner's on first and the first baseman's talking to him between pickoff throws.
Yeah, that's fine. I have no idea how that interaction goes, but it seems
more benign.
Yeah.
Knobloch has the short stick IDA. Here's the slide. Spins it back to X. Henningberg up top. Perkovic, the bouncer. Kelly, the stuff. And he's able to corral the rebound.
2 things. Number 1, every time Knobloch touches the ball, it feels like good things happen. And then 2, Perkovic has got to catch that deeper, higher, above the 2-point arc, so he can catch that and get into a legit throw hop, so he's delivering it right before the 2-point arc. He caught that and didn't get that same lineup. It didn't have the same oomph on it.
He had a 2-pointer last week, along with a 1-point goal, after not scoring last year. Newman marking Garnsey. Ryder is an alchemist with that stick. Shoots off balance. Ray able to get it for the Chaos. That was a missed 9 in a row.
That was classic Ryder Garnsey.
Here's a chance. Perkovic stepped into that one, and the bouncer turned away. Rebound loose, picked up by Zach Geddes.
But that's the look I'm talking about. Just a little bit more oomph on that high bouncer. A little bit better accuracy so it hugs that top pipe.
Chaos nurse a 1-goal lead, 4.5 to play. Archers Outlaws to follow. Jackson gets away from Tevlin. Shovels it back to X. Shot clock winding down, and it hits 0. And now the Redwoods with the quick restart.
Watch out for Dennis.
Kennedy to the wing. Great look by Garnsey, and he missed the cage. Romar's a guy, when he goes off, usually starts with a 2. He's been quiet today. Second season with the Woods. Dennis is on the run, way offline. Degnan had the backup, plenty of time to shoot. He got 44 in Dennis, so 2 guys who can stretch this defense on the field.
Yeah, just too sharp of an angle there for Dennis. I would have liked them to get the ball to him in transition.
Degnan marked by Resch. Bertrand, not much on it. Good defense. Couts got it. Costabile with the crease feed, picked off by Kelly.
Beautiful read there by Kelly, eliminating that skip pass.
Connors over to Fake. Less than 3 minutes to go. Only 1 goal has been scored in this 4th quarter after both teams combined for 11 in the 3rd. And we get a timeout by the Redwoods.
I like this timeout by Redwoods. Dennis was on the field far too long, up and down, up and down. You're gonna have to get into your substitution game. Let's get the correct personnel, fresh personnel, and draw something up here.
Redwoods scoreless for close to 12 minutes. They've missed their last 12 shots. And Ryan, you go back to what worked in that 3rd quarter. They were getting looks for Garrett Degnan, TD Erlin, then got the offense into a rhythm. It was make it, take it lacrosse. And since the game has slowed down, the rhythm's gone away.
Yeah, really bizarre game, just in terms of like that super sloppy 2nd quarter, then this offensive explosion, and then the 4th is ground to a halt.
I don't score a timeout. We go up by 1, then I'll have 1 more.
But you can see John Grant Jr. drawing something up. You know, I would anticipate Rob Pennell being involved in some type of action here. So whether you go to him early and kind of go with those 5, that 4 high or 5 high look and have him operate, or do you start the ball up top with your midfielders, Bertrand, Degnan in particular. And then from a chaos perspective, you know, they are not afraid to double pole. So do you put a short stick on Bergs, allowing yourself to put another pole on an initiator?
Red Legion getting loud. Degnan using the Montgomery pick. Chaos recovered quickly. Ray comes up with it. Dana, what did you glean from the huddles?
Pretty simple. They brought it into 1 huddle. Usually they split offense and defense, but 1 huddle, and they said just get it on 6-on-6. No need to press, and that's what they're doing.
Hey, who's 1 here?
Holden Garland is guarding Jules Henningberg, who's got 4 goals today against his old team. Signed as a free agent with the Chaos.
And how about the trusts in Ross Scott, giving him the ball with 2 minutes to go.
He's earned it today. Scott against Merle. Now Kurtz. Kennedy hung up. Shot clock inside of 10. Hard shot, missed the cage. Reed to shoot. And the Chaos getting ready defensively. Seconds to go in this one. Chaos up by 1. A fluky Ty Kurtz goal in the 4th quarter is the only goal of the 4th quarter, and right now the difference in the game. Redwoods 0 for 7 with 5 turnovers this quarter. Redwoods have a timeout. They use it.
Big emphasis out of the Chaos huddle, specifically from defensive coordinator Jamie Hanford, no 2-pointers. That was the message.
Here's Montgomery streaking toward the cage. Saved by Cott. Austin Count with the save. Less than a minute to go, 26 to shoot. Pennell wants a shot clock reset.
Yeah,
Didn't get it. He can't believe it, so the shot clock does not reset.
It hit the goalie's helmet. It's a freaking reset.
Now you hear it.
I can't. I don't have a timeout. You got to look at it. You got to look at it.
Can't challenge without a timeout. No official review. Pennell, 1 to shoot. Saved by Count. Wow. So the Redwoods can't challenge there. That's got to be an official review. They choose not to review it. Pennell and everybody in the building was convinced it hit the goalie. And now the Chaos can run out the clock. Here's the double. Minikis runs by Fake. Fake and Tevlin converge. 14 seconds, the Chaos sensing danger, use a timeout. 12.6 seconds to go. 1-goal lead for Carolina, and let's take another look. On that St. Laurent.
And he's spot on. In real time, it looked it, and upon replay, I mean, it's off of Count's head. Yeah.
That is a shot clock reset, and they missed the call.
Yeah, under 2 minutes, the officials can review it, and they elected not to. And frankly, I just don't understand the decision not to.
We'll see if we can get Seth Tierney on. Get somewhat of an explanation why that was not at least reviewed. You saw Rob Pennell with the ball looking at the shot clock saying, hang on, what happened?
Yeah.
Seth, why wasn't there an official review there? We know the Redwoods didn't have a timeout. They couldn't challenge. Why no official review?
Yeah, Anish, you got it right. So the Redwoods did not have a timeout to challenge. The referee had it as not a reset. Inside of this minute here, the referees could call for a review at their discretion. At that point in time, they stayed with the call that it did not hit the goalie. Obviously, and the second time you look at it, you can see it skims the goalie's head.
Seth, appreciate it.
You got it, guys.
I mean, I understand, like, squeaky wheel, like you don't want to have to review everything just because the coach asks for it.
That's a big play.
But that's clear. I mean, like, in real time, it looked like a reset. I mean, Rob Pennell was like, it's like, at a certain point, body English comes into it, right? Like, yeah.
There was no harm in that spot.
Right.
To have a replay review. It wasn't like there was a change of possession. The Redwoods had the ball. All you're doing is then adjusting for clock. Now the Chaos can run this out. A few seconds away from a 2-0 start. Scott flips it over to the far side. Time runs out, and the Carolina Chaos ring in homecoming weekend with a 1-goal win against the Redwoods.